Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well today. I'm Taffany and I want to welcome you into my garden. Today I am going to be working on the front, not the front, but the back entry bed. The bed that you see as soon as you come into our backyard. It's looked dull for quite a few weeks as I've worked on other parts of the yard. So I have the motivation to work on it, and I already started. I planted some things that I moved from other parts of the yard. I cleaned up the weeds and everything, and yeah, I moved some things around. So what I'm going to do is show you what I have done so far. I like to do a lot of work just in the garden. It's relaxing for me, and I don't like to film every time I'm working. So this is one of those times where I did some planting off camera, and so I'm going to show you that. There's a little project that I worked on that was a problem that I solved. I'll talk about that as well and show you how I address that, and then we're just going to kind of take a overall look at this front entry bed when we're done. So first, let me show you what I've done. Let me show you what I have that I'm going to put into the bed, and then we'll just go from there. So let me give you a good look at what we've got going on right now. So as you can see, my little garden buddy over there is just relaxing. It's very humid right now, really humid. I mean, I'm sweating just being out here for a couple of minutes. But this is the bed now. I've cleaned up things. You'll notice quite a few changes in it. I took my cleaning all of the way over here and on down. I'm not going to show you that because that was my little project that I worked on that I will talk about a little bit later. But I moved the sun pations over here because I thought they would be perfect. My garden buddy Tika was chasing after a gecko and just destroyed this one, hopping all inside of it. So I'm not gonna give up on it. I'm gonna hope that it comes back. So I have that. I still have the salvia here. It's doing so well, and that is one salvia that's it, just one. It's just spread. That extra purple fountain grass that I stuck in the back, I put right there. The rose that was on the side of the house, I put here, the one that is just my favorite that smells so good, and I'll tell you why I did that. As I was looking at that side driveway bed, I just felt like everything in there except for three things is pretty much kind of deciduous. As we get a frost, it's going to just, die off, drop its leaves, and I just didn't want that to be just a big empty wall with just one little part that has evergreen. So I brought this back here where it's in front of the window, especially here of the kitchen, so that we can enjoy it. As you're sitting on the patio, we'll be able to enjoy the smell when it's in bloom, and we'll be able to see it all of the time as opposed to it being on the driveway. And in that spot I can put something evergreen, so I won't have big empty spaces of wall over there. And so that was my thinking there. I have a zinnia that I brought here from one of my pots. I felt like it was just kind of a lone zinnia, just skinny and tall, looking kind of funny, so I'm going to replace it and put something else in the pot. The lantana from the back courtyard garden I brought up here with its pretty pink flowers, pink with the yellow center. And this Rebecca, or Black Eye Susan, I bought a couple of weeks ago, and it is not doing so hot here. I'm not sure if I should give up on it or what, but I was just at the garden center this morning where I purchased this one. They have a ton more, and every time I picked up one, the stems just started bending over, every single one that I touched. And I just feel like the breeding of these bred some weak stems, and as you can see, I've got this support here trying to hold things up, but it just doesn't stand up and it's droopy. So I think I'm going to dig it out, put it over in my little rehab area, see if I can do something with it, because this just doesn't look good. You know, it's just not a strong plant. So that's what I've got. I've got the Sun Patience, trying to revive life into the one that Tika destroyed. I've got the salvia that's still here. The salvia that was in the spot here where this lantana is, I moved it, and I'll show you where I moved it to. And so that's what I have here, the rose and everything, because I'm trying to fill this in so when you walk in, it's bright, it's colorful. I do want this bed to be colorful and just vibrant and pretty, because we see it from part of our family room and we see it from the kitchen. So I want to see bumblebees and birds and, you know, hummingbirds and things like that. But the salvia that I moved from there, let me swing around, and as I swing you'll see some things. Those are things that are going into that bed. We come over here. I had one salvia that was pretty tall stuck in the middle of all of that. I put that one there, and I put the second one here because I felt like this side of this narrow bed just had no flowers on it, so that way there's some color on this side. And look at that back border, guys. It is doing so well. The only thing I have left is one section of empty space to fill in. And at the garden center this morning, I discovered that this is a buttercup. In my other video, I said I wasn't sure what it is. They are buttercups, and they are so precious. They are very pretty. All right, this Rebecca is doing great. It has revived itself, and I could use it in place of the one that is looking pretty pathetic. I don't know, but let's take a look at what I have. These are the little seedlings that I dug out of the ground when I was clearing out all the weeds from this bed. But what I have are 2 cleomes that are going to go in the bed. I have this hibiscus, which is called Luna something. Let me get it. It is Luna Pink Swirl, and it says it grows 2 to 3 feet tall. I have some Angelonia. I have a echinacea. This echinacea is, it doesn't have a name on it of what specific kind it is. And this is called Dipladenia. It is technically a vine, but as you see, it's kind of standing pretty strong, and it is in the Mandevilla family. And I'm thinking of replacing that Rebecca with this Mandevilla or Dipladenia, because I think that is a pretty flower. And yeah, I'm just disappointed in that. Every single flower in the garden center that I picked up, every time I picked it up, the stems just bent and flopped over. And I was like, I couldn't even replace it if I wanted to, because this batch is just a bad batch of weak stemmed flowers. So we're going to get that out. So let's place the flowers where I want them, get them in the ground, and then we'll head to our next project, and then we'll lay mulch. My plan is that every time I work on a section, I am going to lay mulch when I finish. That way I can get this yard mulched, because I just can't get that outside help like I thought. One other thing I wanted to show you while I'm at it is, if as you see in the back, I dug up the little seedlings. You can see that they've grown pretty good. Those are the zinnia seedlings, so I put them back there so that there can be like this, you know, circle thing surrounding this lime tree. All right, I've done quite a bit of talking. Let's get to some planting now, guys. Well, guys, I'm gonna break in my new pair of gloves, so let's get going. All right, guys. Well, I've got all the flowers that were left in. So starting here, we've got that gorgeous hibiscus called Luna, and it gets 2 to 3 feet tall. We've got a yellow zinnia. I can't remember the name of the rose, but it smells fabulous. We've got lantana, and kind of covered up a little bit here are the variegated agapanthus, also known as African lilies. They're babies, so they will grow and give a different kind of interest. Once they're done blooming, their balls will still be standing tall. Those round ball-shaped stems that are left over after it blooms. Again, we have the front lined with, let me move my Rebecca that is looking pathetic. Okay, so we have the front lined with the sun patience. We have this one that we're trying to revive after Tika trampled it to death chasing the gecko. We've got this pink salvia, purple fountain grass. At the back, at the foundation of the house, are 2 Miss Lemon Abelias. We have an Indian hawthorn. We have the Angelina, and oh my goodness, my brain just went blank. That one is Cleome. For some reason I wanted to say cyclamen, don't know why, but Cleome. So we've got one there, and we've got one there in between the shrubs to fill in the empty spaces since the shrubs are still small. We've got 2 Angelonia there. We've got the Echinacea there. I don't have anything in this spot here because as the Miss Lemon Abelia starts to spread out, it will cover that area anyway. But also the sprinkler is back there, so I don't want to really block it. So this is a view of this now beautiful, colorful bed. I am loving it. All right. So let's get to the next project. All right, guys. Well, in this section here, I have 2 Miss Lemon Abelias, and if you look at the front, they're pretty shredded up. Whenever the guys who come to mow my yard do the edging, they just kind of butcher the front of my shrubs, just kind of cut off the front. So what I've decided to do is to extend this bed outward so that when they are here in their edging, or even when I myself am out edging, that these poor little babies don't get shredded. I want them to grow to their fullest potential, to display their weeping habit, that laying over that they do. And I don't want it, cut off. And so this will allow the shrubs to have room to display that growth forward and not just to their sides and to their back, without the landscapers cutting off all of the front. And if there's room in the future, maybe some little colorful annuals can go there. I'm not really doing this for the purpose of putting annuals out. If that is a benefit later on, I'll take advantage of it. If there's space and we can fit a flower in, we will do it. But the main purpose is to allow these shrubs to grow uninhibited and to keep them from getting just chopped up. So I am going to be laying down cardboard. This process has been around for a long time. It's nothing new. I know that they call it sheet mulching now, but it's been used for a long time. The best kind of cardboard to use is cardboard that doesn't have any plastic on it, no plastic tape or any labels or anything like that. Shiny boxes are not the best. It's best to use just plain old-fashioned cardboard boxes. You know, if there's no writing on them, that's always the best, but boxes without writing on them these days is hard to find. So as long as, you know, it's not shiny ink, you know, that has always been the best. But, you know, you can use what you have. Just avoid things that have, you know, plastic tapes and labels, or, you know, the shiny ones. But you lay your boxes flat. They will kill what is underneath by blocking the sunlight. In addition, as they break down, it kind of acts as a compost. So, you know, it will help the soil to be nice and loose. And I'm not going to add any kind of topsoil or anything on this. I have some leftover compost from when I was working in the courtyard garden. So I'm just going to cover it with that and just leave it here. In the edging, this is black edging that I've, you know, used around the garden. I only have a few small pieces left. This is one of them. So I decided to use this edging to mark it off and give it its nice gentle curve. This edging will stay here until this is broken down. And then I will remove it, and this part will be edged just like the rest of the yard with a nice natural edging from the trimmer. So that's the plan here, trying to protect these shrubs. So we're going to get everything down, get the mulch down, and then I'll let you take a look at what it looks like once I'm done. All right, guys. Well, I have completed the extension on this little section. So as I showed you earlier, whenever the landscapers come and they they edge the lawn, they have been butchering my Miss Lemonabelias. You can see, I showed you a little bit ago, these branches and things like that. Cutest kitty cat in the world. So I just added an extension, and I did it with cardboard boxes, and I just got some of the extra edging I had to mark off the area, and I'm going to leave the edging there for a few months until the grass breaks down and dies off. And then I'll remove it, and it will be a natural edging just like there and all the rest of the yard. But this is what it looks like. So my hope is that this will keep them far enough from my shrubs so that they won't destroy them anymore. It looks good though. Let's get to the side over here. And I had some extra, well, it wasn't extra, I was going to use it in the back courtyard garden, but instead I used it here. The black mulch, the black velvet mulch is what I've been using. It is a natural mulch. It doesn't have any dyes. It's a mulch and compost combination. So that's it. And it looks good. I'm very pleased with it. All right, guys, I'm exhausted. It is the middle of the day when it is very hot and I shouldn't be out, but I got it done. I had to stop a couple of times to go get a drink of water and everything, but it looks good. So let's do one last walkthrough before we call it quits for the day. All right, guys, I moved the chairs and stuff so we can get a good view. So this is standing at the fence as you come into the backyard. And as I pan up, this is the view. So let's walk through it. We've got the cleomes out. We've got the echinacea, angelonias. Look at that, guys. So fresh, so clean. Everything looks so good. As we come over here, the celosia are growing and looking good, and the zinnias back there are yellow, so this will be all yellow in here. And all of these little flowers were seedlings that dropped from last year's plants, so that is just the color of what came up. I only got one red to come up, so might as well stick with the color scheme. So this extension, so they can stop butchering my miscellaneous. Oh, I got a little compost right there. We'll throw that in the bed. And so I stop at the entrance to the courtyard garden. So looking at it from the courtyard garden out, this looks fabulous. I love it. And those hibiscus back there is so pretty. This is perfect, guys. So now this bed is not blah and bland. Gorgeous. All right, well, guys, that is it for today. I want to thank you for being out in this hot heat gardening with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.